The bell had just rung, and the students shuffled lazily into their homeroom class. They weren't expecting much, just another boring Monday with a new substitute teacher. Rumors had spread that the school had hired someone young and inexperienced, and the troublemakers of the class were already plotting to test her limits. When the door opened, in walked Miss Elena. She wasn't dressed like the usual teachers. Instead of stiff suits and thick glasses, she wore a simple fitted blouse and slacks. Her posture was straight, her movements graceful, and her eyes calm but sharp. The students exchanged glances. She didn't look intimidating. That was mistake number one. Among the rowdiest students sat Travis, the self-proclaimed king of pranks. He leaned back in his chair, whispering to his friends, "Bet she won't last a week." Snickers echoed around. Elena introduced herself warmly, her voice confident but gentle. She began writing her name on the board when Travis leaned over and whispered, "Watch this." Before anyone could stop him, he swaggered forward with a smirk. With a loud, disrespectful slap, he struck the back of her skirt. The class froze. Gasps filled the room. Some laughed nervously, waiting to see her burst into tears or storm out in humiliation. But Miss Elena didn't even flinch. She slowly set down the chalk, turned, and looked Travis dead in the eyes. Her gaze was so steady that even the cocky bully blinked, unsure for a moment. Then, with a fluid motion, Elena shifted her stance. Before Travis could even react, she spun, her foot slicing through the air with terrifying precision. The spinning kick stopped just a hair's breadth from his face, the force of the wind brushing his cheek. The sound of her shoe cutting the air echoed like a whip crack in the silent classroom. Travis stumbled backward, his smirk gone. The class erupted in shocked whispers, jaws dropping. Elena lowered her leg calmly, straightened her blouse, and said in a low, firm voice, "Try that again, and I won't stop my kick next time." The message hit harder than the kick itself. For the first time, the bullies weren't laughing. They saw something in her eyes: discipline, training, and absolute confidence. She wasn't just a teacher. She was something else. And suddenly, everyone in the room wanted to know, who really is Miss Elena? The room was buzzing like a shaken beehive. Whispers darted from desk to desk. "Did you see that? She almost broke his jaw. Who even is she?" Travis, red-faced and humiliated, tried to recover his pride. "You think you're tough," he barked, stepping forward again, though the slight tremor in his voice betrayed him. Miss Elena didn't move. She simply folded her arms, her eyes sharp like blades. "Sit down," she commanded. The authority in her voice wasn't that of a teacher, it was the voice of someone who had led people, faced danger, and come out stronger. Travis froze, then slowly backed into his seat. His friends stared, not daring to laugh anymore. Elena paced slowly across the classroom. "Respect," she began, her voice calm but resonant, "is not given, it is earned. But disrespect," she stopped, her eyes sweeping the room, "comes with consequences." The students sat silently, hanging on every word. Nobody dared to whisper now. Then, one of the braver girls raised her hand timidly. "Miss Elena, how did you do that? That kick." A faint smile tugged at her lips. "Years of training. Before I became a teacher, I served." The class leaned in, curiosity burning. "Served where?" another asked. Her eyes softened, and she chose her words carefully. "In the military. Special operations. I trained to protect, to defend, and to never allow injustice to go unchecked." Gasps spread through the classroom. Suddenly, the calm, composed woman in front of them wasn't just a teacher, she was a warrior. For the rest of the lesson, no one so much as shuffled a paper without permission. Travis slumped in his seat, silent and brooding, but his pride was shattered. Everyone knew he would never dare cross her again. When the final bell rang, the students filed out, whispering among themselves. Some looked back at her with newfound admiration, others with awe. As the last student left, Elena stood alone by the board. She let out a quiet sigh, her composed mask softening. She hadn't wanted to reveal that part of herself so soon. But maybe it was better this way. They would learn respect not out of fear, but out of knowing she carried strength and discipline far beyond the classroom. And from that day on, no one doubted Miss Elena again.